What's going on, guys? It's your boy Worthy Prince coming at you with another first Descendant video, and today, guys, I'm going to be sharing with you my Ajax builds. Now, I've left Ajax almost till last here because Ajax wasn't really a Descendant that resonated with me, but my mind has been changed since I started doing this because the builds that I've actually got here are a lot of fun to play. So I'm finding myself wanting to use Ajax a lot more often than I realized I would. Now, not only am I going to be sharing two amazing Ajax builds with you today, but I'm also going to be sharing with you my build for the Secret Garden because this gun works so well with Ajax. And you know what, guys? We're going to start with the Secret Garden build because there's stuff that happens with Ajax that is kind of irrelevant to the Secret Garden. So I want to explain how this all works. If you want to jump forward to the Ajax part of this video, there is chapters down below for you to skip ahead. But first of all, guys, let's start off with this amazing gun, the Secret Garden. The Secret Garden is an amazing gun. It starts off with a base critical hit rate of 50% and a base critical hit damage of 2.25%, which is extremely powerful. Plus, it also starts off with a reasonable 1.5x on weak point damage. So this gun overall, you can tell just from the initial base stats, is gonna slap once you level it up for sure. Now the reason why this gun works extremely well for Ajax is because of the unique ability. If you take a look here at the unique ability, you can see here that it has a couple of things which is just POG for Ajax. When using a dimension skill, it recovers his custom resource, and that's awesome because Ajax does have a custom resource. But the most important one here is when using a tech skill, it grants the unique ability Pest Control, and that's going to increase your firearm attack, and it's also going to increase your skill power as well. And for the first Ajax build we're going to go through, we are going to be pretty much spamming one of his skills, which is a tech skill, and we're going to be also using a dimension skill. So we're going to be getting the pest control and the extra custom resource recovery off this quite frequently. Now, this is maxed out with the 4 duplicates, and you can see you get a trigger rate of 50%. So this pest control that has a duration of 10 seconds with 3 stacks, it's going to basically have his skill power up at 48% extra, which is insane. And you're going to be doing that all the time. It's just absolutely nutty how much the Secret Garden is going to boost Ajax and give him that extra damage. Okay, let's look at the modules on the Secret Garden. So as you can see, guys, we're ramping up crit rate, ramping up crit damage, also increasing the fire rate as well as some weak point. So if we take a look at the overall stats of the gun here, you can see we've got 75.7% firearm critical hit rate, 4.7% critical hit damage, and over 2x weak point damage. And what you get for that is an extremely powerful gun that will shred. Now, we're running a gold mod, which is Sweeping Squad, because as we defeat enemies, we're going to be increasing our firearm attack, so that's even more damage, and it's going to be like an extra 30%. If you're constantly hitting enemies, then you're going to constantly keep those stacks up, which is going to just be an insane amount of extra damage. When you consider rifling reinforcement is a very powerful mod that everybody has in their guns, adding 32%. If we're adding another 30%, well, pretty much almost another 32% here, then damn, that's like having 2 rifling reinforcements in your gun. It's kind of insane. And then, of course, weak point sight, concentration priority for extra critical hit damage, better insight, better concentration, action and reaction for extra firearm attack, of course, the recoil you hardly notice, fire rate increase with firearm critical hit damage, concentrate ammo support to give us more rounds in the magazine and critical hit damage, and insight focus again for more crit rate and crit damage. So it's a lot of crit, bit of weak point. Just don't go too heavy on weak point because it's mainly a crit rate gun. But those are the mods you're going to want to be going into. And let's take a look at the damage. And as you can see, we don't need to hit weak points. 128,000, over 300,000 crit rates on those headshots. That's insane. The weak point damage here is on another level. Over 300,000, guys, and we're hitting 128,000, and almost everything is critting. It's absolutely crazy. It absolutely shreds. It's an amazing gun. I love it. It's awesome. And if you take a look at my front stats on this gun as well, you can see I'm running firearm attack. I'm also running firearm critical hit damage, firearm critical hit rate, and toxic attack. I got a really good roll of toxic attack, so I decided to keep that on. It's always nice to have something that gives you some extra enhancement damage. So toxic attack on the front, so I don't need to worry about putting an enhancement mod inside the actual gun itself on the modules. And you can see here overall in total, I was showing you the damage on the gun, but when you add it up with everything, look at this. Firearm critical hit rate 81.7, 5.2x on critical hit damage on this gun, and over 2x on weak point, 21,500 firearm attack. Absolutely insane. So now you know how the Secret Garden operates and the fact that the firearm attack is going to increase if we're activating skills and stuff like that. We can jump into the Ajax builds now and show you exactly how all this works. So the first build I'm going to share with you on Ajax is going to be my Hulk Smash build. This is going into the Void Charge, which is basically going to modify Void Walk and Expulsion so that they increase damage proportionate to your defense. And it says using an enhanced skill resets the Void Charge to 1 stack. So this is actually really good. We're going to be boosting into the Void Charge ability. This is the main one. And you can see from the animation here why we call this the Hulk Smash build, because you're jumping up and you're coming down like Incredible Hulk and smashing, causing massive AoE damage. Now, important here is the cooldown. You need the cooldown nice and low so you can spam it. And we're at 3.1 second cooldown, which is extremely good. Max radius on this for damage range is 21 meters. We're at 17.2, so that's very much adequate. If we take a look at the 3, even though our reactor isn't boosting into the 3, it still is something which we can use. And you can see it still causes good damage. We've got a 2.6 second cooldown on this and with another 17.2 meters radius. So again, we are going to use this. When we jump and we land, we do big AoE, and then we activate the 3 and do a second AoE, and then we're off again jumping. And that's kind of the rhythm that you get into with this build. I don't really utilize the 1 or the 4 in this. I hardly ever use it. If we take a look at the mods, you can see we have MP conversion for skill cooldown. We've got maximize conservation for skill cost reduction, so we can get more out of our MP. We've also got nimble fingers for skill cooldown. And then you don't need to go too heavy on damage on this build because it, really does quite a lot of damage as it is. We just need to buff it up a little bit. And we also want to get some more cooldown in the process. So we go focus on non-attribute for non-attribute skill power and skill cooldown, and focus on tech for tech skill power, because number 2 is a tech skill. And we also have another 6% cooldown, which is delicious. And then we've got Spear and Shield, because you do more damage on this build by having skill power increased as opposed to skill power modifier. So we go Spear and Shield. And then the range is important. 92% on skill expansion and 94% on maximize range. So very important to have that range. That's where we get that 17 meter range from. And then last but not least, some survivability. First of all, ramp the defense up, which is important because more defense, a little bit more damage, doesn't make as much of an increase as you would think. So you don't need to go too heavy on this build with defense. Having increased defense and Spear and Shield for another 89% defense is more than enough for this build. And then increased HP to give us more survivability. And if we take a look at the screen here, you can see that we have 52,810 defense and over 10,000 HP, which is actually a really nice amount. You won't find yourself dying at all unless you get absolutely ganked. But to be honest with you, this is more than enough as far as defense and HP to keep you alive in the fights and stuff you're doing, whatever you're playing, right? So let me go ahead and demonstrate the build for you. So we use mid-air maneuvering, so we can jump, we can activate our mid-air maneuver, do that, and then up in the air and Hulk smash, bang, and it's pretty good stuff. Now remember, as we spam tech skills, our Secret Garden's going to give us a boost, right? Yeah, and it's activated, and I can show you. If you look at your Secret Garden gun here, you can see the muzzle on the end of the gun. Now, if I do a tech skill and then look down the sight again, see all the little pink arrows that are poking out of the muzzle now? That shows you that the gun has now activated and the stack is on. So you're getting that extra firearm attack and also that extra skill attack bonus. So we're going to go ahead and show you how the damage ramps up and how much damage you do with this build. So here we go. And we'll do the first one, it's at 360. Second one, 399. Third jump, 438,000. Each jump is doing 438,000. If we activate our 3, bang, 589,000 on white numbers. Extremely powerful build. If you're jumping around in Kuiper mining missions, whatever it is, you are going to absolutely decimate enemies with this in big groups because of the massive AoE that comes off of it. It's a lot of fun to play. Okay, let's talk about reactors. So reactors, I've got a purple reactor. I've been trying to farm a decent Secret Garden mounted gold one, but I've had no luck getting the one I want. Hopefully I can get one soon. But for now, this purple one's fine. And what you're looking for is a non-attribute tech reactor to boost into that 2. So we've got the Hulk Smash nice and boosted up. And then as far as the skills at the bottom go, non-attribute skill power boost ratio, I got gold here, is actually a good one. Also going for tech skill power boost ratio is good. Skill effect range, skill cost reduction, all those things, if you've got them on the bottom, are pretty good. Also, don't like be shy away from having dimension skill power. Like don't think that's a bad thing. Even though it doesn't boost into the 2, we are using the 3 as well, and that is a dimension skill, so it is going to give you a little bit of a boost on your dimension skill for your 3. So that's not actually a bad stat either to have at the bottom. This is a pretty solid reactor for this build, and yeah, hopefully I can get a better one, but that's what I would be looking for as far as a gold one goes. But no, this is absolutely fine for the time being. And as far as components go, I am running the Slayer set, and then the reason I'm running the Slayer set is so I've got an extra 26.1% skill power. Makes a massive difference to the damage we do. So we definitely want to go, you need to go for a full Slayer set to kind of get the real damage ramp on Ajax when you're jumping around, okay? And that's and as far as the stats go, just get ones which have HP and have defense. Some shields is not a bad thing either, but lots of HP and defense and shields, as much as you can get on the Slayer set, okay? I don't have to worry too much about MP recovery in and out of combat and all that stuff, because honestly, when you're jumping around bunches of enemies, you don't really ever run out of MP. Like, you're picking up MP items, you don't ever run out. It's not that bad at all. Okay, let's move into my second build for Ajax, and this is going to be the gun build. So this one's called the Juggernaut, and we jump into body enhancement, which increases max HP, defense, and max shield. It does increase all your cooldowns and skill costs, but it's not too much of a big issue because you're a walking tank in this build, so you don't really need any shields to protect you. But if you do want to use them, we do have some skill cooldown in this build, and so you can see here that we are going to have a 27-second cooldown on the big number 4 orb, and on the barrier that we put in front of us, we're going to have a cooldown of 11 seconds. So if you do want to use it, they do kind of like come back fairly quickly. Now, as far as the actual build goes to make him into an absolute god tank, you can see here we have skill cooldown and max HP on time distribution. Maximize conservation I put in because I had a slot there and I didn't want to recatalyze it. I probably would have put something else in here, maybe some more HP or defense or something, but I just put this in because I didn't really want to recatalyze. So potentially not optimal, but like I said, this build works, so it's okay. A skill cost reduction. And then we have nimble fingers for cooldown. Again, I may not have used that. I probably would have gone for something for more HP, shields, or defense, but I didn't want to recatalyze, so I went for nimble fingers. Polygenic antibody for 640 resistance on all resistances to make us more tanky. We also have increased HP, increased defense, more increased HP. We have spear and shield for defense. We have agony for defense, and we have iron will, so that when our shield goes to 0, because I haven't pushed any shields on this because I didn't want to recatalyze for shields, our defense is going to get an extra 128%, which is really nice. Also, a difference between Hulk Smash and the Juggernaut build is I took the catalyst out of the top right hand corner. I made it a blank square, just in case you are wondering how I got all this in. Everything stays the same as the Hulk Smash build. You don't need to recatalyze. You just have to make that top right hand corner one blank, which is really easy. Just click on it, click on the blank square and click confirm, and it'll make it blank on that second tab. And that allows you to go ahead and get the HP one in just about. Module capacity 85 out of 85. I just about squeezed this this build in. So with all that being said and done, what does it look like? Well, if you take a look here, you can see we have 90,920 defense. And when your shield goes down, and it is still 1,600 shields, so the shield will still hold up fairly well, but if you're under attack and that shield drops, okay, then you're going to go up to 120,000 on your defense, which is actually insane. So yeah, that's just mad. And then as far as HP goes, you can see with this build, we are running 27,824 HP. Which is mad. And when you go into the missions and stuff, that's actually going to go up because of all the buffs and stuff you have as well. It's kind of nutty. So yeah, really happy with the amount of HP and defense on this build. Now, as far as the reactor goes, it's not really important. I just leave the same reactor on because we're not really using skills. So the reactor's kind of irrelevant here. And as far as the components go, I just run the Annihilation set. And the reason I run the Annihilation set is not for the skill duration, it's for the 4-set bonus. Firearm attack increases proportionally to the ratio of max HP to HP loss, up to 26% when HP is 50% or lower. That's what I do it for, because then if I'm under attack, then my firearm attack is going to increase. And as this is a gun build, you know, 5 in extra firearm attack is extremely good. So I go with this. And as far as what's on the components, it's just defense, HP, and resistances. You can see I have toxin resistance, electric, chill, and fire resistance with all the defenses and HPs and stuff. So that way it's making me as tanky as possible. And having the secret garden with this gun build is extremely good. I mean, the damage we're doing here, you can see 340,000 a headshot. I mean, the damage is phenomenal. When you're out in the field using this, nothing can kill you. You're literally unkillable. You're literally a walking tank. It's just phenomenal. Anyway, guys, that right there is my Ajax builds for the gunplay, the Super Juggernaut tank, and also the Hulk Smash build, along with the Secret Garden. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, stay safe, everyone, and of course, peace out.